Okay, what's up, mates? I wasn't planning on actually getting a video launched today. Well, it probably won't actually go live today, but I'm recording this the day before I embark on my 2020 road trip to Spain and France. So that playlist of videos will be coming shortly. And don't worry, I'm not going to make it one of those horrendously boring videos where you're just watching someone ride. I'm really into my editing. I try to make my videos as engaging as I possibly can by not just playing continuous video of like 20-30 seconds of a whole entire clip just riding a bike. It's all going to be the highlights. It should be good music, good audio. You know what I'm like. Anyway, I wanted to make a very quick video because I've got customers who are waiting for some shipments still. We've already previously got loads of shipments out last week, but we still have some shipments that are waiting for a few bits and pieces which are due in later this week and early next week before we can complete those bundles and get those dispatched to our customers. But we're keeping in touch with you so you're up to date with exactly what's going on. But I've got one customer, well, two customers, but I'm dealing with one of them, but two customers, and he's ordered two identical bundles going to Norway. So you know who you are. So what this customer's asked me to do is to program his Cansmarts for him in advance, which I'm absolutely fine with doing it. I do it for free. I don't even charge. I thought I'd show you how easy it is to upgrade the firmware as soon as it arrives and program it, even with it not on the bike. As you can see, I'm in my kitchen at home. There's no bike here at all. So this is what we're going to do. So here's the Cansmarts. There's one here and there's one here. So we're going to program these now. So there's the Cansmart and all the harnesses are inside here with the instructions. So there's the Cansmart there. So there's no need to unravel any of this because I'm just programming it for the customer. I'm going to put it straight back in the bag. But if you look on the back side of this, you've got the little bung, which is a waterproof cover for the USB port. So we are going to plug a USB cable directly into that. And the USB cable comes with the Cansmart itself. So we're going to plug this end into here and then the other end into my laptop. As you can see, we've got a green light on straight away. That's not even connected to the battery of the bike. So then if we come to my laptop, we've got the EasyCan software, and you can get this from the Denali Electronics website. If you go onto the denalielectronics.com website and go onto the software page, resources, you'll see it. Now straight away, the first thing that happens when you plug in a brand new Cansmart is it comes up with a firmware update is available for your device. If it doesn't, it means you've got one of the latest Cansmarts. Literally, it's probably made within the last few weeks. But there's always updates going on with these. So as soon as you plug it in, this update will come up. We hit yes. Update firmware now. Please switch off the ignition. It's not on the bike, so there's nothing to switch off. The picture in the background is my wife and I in Prague, just doing a stupid candid selfie. But as you can see, we look very happy. It was a good weekend. Okay, so that's all been done. Now, what you're seeing now is the default settings, how the Cansmart come out of the factory. The triangle at the very top right hand corner, that is basically just telling you that the ignition is turned off, because it's not even plugged into a bike. What we're going to do is, the customer has asked, let me just go to his email again so I can see exactly what he's asked for. The customer has asked for the lights to be set up. Obviously he can do this himself just on the fly, but he's having two brake lights. So I'm going to set the brake lights up so they don't flash. daytime running light 20 to 30%, nighttime running light 50 to 60, the high beam 100%. Right, so he's having a D4 bundle. If you look at the very top, we've got red circuit and white circuit. Now, they are the two circuits that I'm going to advise him to use. So if he doesn't use the red and white circuit, well then all this pre-programming is just a waste of time. So if you're watching now, if I can get this video edited and put out on YouTube and sent to you before I go off on my trip, then fantastic. If not, the customer's going to get an email from me and he's going to have a note put inside his Cansmart, inside his package, to say, make sure you put one of the D4s on the red circuit and the other D4 on the white circuit. So what we're going to do is we'll start at the very, very top. You go red circuit, left light 1, apply, white circuit, right light 1, apply. Okay, so now we've got left light 1 and right light 1, well then they automatically become a pair. Does that make sense? So if I click on that again, it's very important that we don't click on light pair 1, because that is telling the Cansmart there's one circuit controlling a pair of lights, which we don't want to do because that's all Gen 1 technology. It's okay if you've got a pair of lights where you don't want to switch the left off and the right off independently from each other when you indicate. But for this example, the customer wants each respective side to switch off when he indicates. So we're going to have that at left light 1 and right light 1. Now we're going to change the amps. Now D4s, they're supposed to max out at 6.6 as a pair. So we're talking 3.3 amps on maximum power. So we could turn it down to 4 amps, but I think we'd be okay leaving it on 5 amps. But if you want to turn it down, you just go on to 4 amps and that changes to 4 amps. But we're going to leave it at 5 amps just in case they peak at over 4 amps or something. But they're supposed to peak each at 3.3 amps. The horn, this customer's not actually having a horn. There's no harm just leaving that as it is. So he's not, do not use the blue circuit if you're watching. The yellow circuit, they have opted to have B6 rear lights on their bikes. So we'll leave that as 2 amps. But before we get to the brake circuit, we're going to finish off setting up the set of lights. So he wants 30%, he says 20 to 30%, so we're going to do 30% intensity for daytime running lights. So if we look at the low beam here, we're going to go day intensity to 30, and then he said he wanted 60 for night intensity. So we go 60 there, and then his full beam, 100%, so we'll leave that at 100%. He hasn't mentioned anything about all these features on the right hand side, but we are going to have them switched on, so make sure the lights turn off when the turn signal is active. We'll do that. Strobe when he hits the horn, so even though he's not having the sound bomb, the Cansmart controls the strobing, so we're going to leave the strobing turned on, so even when he hits his normal horn on his bike, his lights will strobe, which is a pretty cool thing. But if he wants to, he can plug his Cansmart in and just flick that button and it turns that feature off. And then we've got this one here, strobe to flash to pass. If he flicks the flasher 3 times on his bike, on his OEM switch on his bike, the D4 lights will strobe. And then we've got inverse flashing when he activates his hazard lights. So when he puts his hazards on, the D4s will flash on and off simultaneously with the hazard lights, one after the other. It's quite a cool effect. If you haven't seen it, go and watch nearly any of my other videos and you'll see it. Right, modulation, that means they're going to flicker when the bike is turned just on as running lights, which I think looks like a fault, but some people might want it, but we're going to have that turned off. Otherwise, he's just going to think his lights are faulty. Right, so then we go to the brake light. As you can see, there's not a second set of lights because we haven't set a second pair of lights up in the software at the top. So it only shows you one. If I change that blue circuit to light pair 2, then another section will suddenly appear so you can configure the second set of lights. So for his brake light, he hasn't actually made a preference for this, so I'm going to set it up as a default, which I like. So running light 10%, and we're going to go brake 70% because 100% is just too bright. It's a bit annoying for people behind you. the customer will actually notice that the rear light is so much brighter than the BMW stock light. Just 10% is brighter than the running light on the BMW bike, and 70% is 3-4 times brighter than the BMW brake light. So we're going to have it running light 10%, brake light 70%, and then I'm going to turn off this brake apply flashing California style. I don't know why Denali have this as a default setting. So we're going to have it as solid on braking. So that's going to work just like the bike. It's just going to mimic what the brake light's doing on the bike, but obviously be brighter and be underneath the license plate. He's gone for the V6 license plate light. It is going to flash when he does an emergency stop, and it's going to flash on rapid engine braking, and that's the same as the BMW. A lot of people don't realise that, but if you're riding in a pair and you ride quite aggressively and you're braking hard before you get to corners and you're doing rapid engine braking, you'll notice your riding buddy up ahead, his rear light will start flashing. And if you're on intercoms, because I know this from experience where I've been on the Transfiguration in Romania, and my mate was saying, Steve, will you get off the brake, stop braking, stop braking. I'm saying, I'm not braking. And he says, your rear light keeps flashing. I thought, right, okay. Our bikes obviously have that as a feature. Right, and horn enabled, I'll turn it off, because we know he's not putting a horn on there, but because you're seeing this, you know that if you want to fit a horn, you need to plug your Cansmart back into your computer and enable the horn. But I've turned this off for you. Right, that one's set up. Now let's do the next one. So all we do is just unplug it. Don't forget to put the little rubber bung back in there. Plug this in, and there we are. We've got another green light on the back of it. It requires another firmware update. Of course, it's a new Cansmart. Update firmware now. Please switch off ignition. Okay, that's done. Hit OK. And as you can see, it's all changed again. See, on the red circuit, left light, right light, one aren't there anymore. It thinks it's got two pairs set up. You see this, the first pair and the second pair. So once again, we go left light 1, apply, right light 1, apply, 100% full beam, 30% day intensity, 60% night intensity, and brake at 70%, running light at 10%, solid on braking, horn disabled. There we are, that's all done as well. That's how easy and quick it is, guys. Okay, now we can unplug this. Put the bung back in. There we go, done. So I hope you found this video useful. If you are still confused about programming your Cansmart, you saw how easy that was. If this video has been of any use to you, would you please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, even leave a criticism. I love it, anything. All right, I really hope you enjoy my videos because I'm loving it. I'm just fantastic, and I just love my new lens because I've got nice blurry backgrounds. It's pretty cool. Okay, let's go and spend 12 days behind bars. Let's do this. Solitary confinement. I'll see you later.